my name is 𝙈𝙄𝙎 and today I'm doing the Impossible Shell Challenge where I can only use 200k worth of money and I only have 2 hours to complete it. Today I am with Vnoot, the 2-time reigning champion, as well as Honeykody and the lovely host Pandalemontart, who was the one who created this shell. Make sure to check out everyone's videos to see how they did in this challenge. To kick things off, I started by making a custom made camel. I knew I needed to pull out the big guns if I wanted to win against Vnoot. I made sure to have my editor for this video slow down the process for all those who are looking to add an interesting friend to their own plots. Here is also a reference photo that I had picked out while doing research and planning out my build. I knew though I'd need more than just a pretty camel you can look at, so I made sure to include some seats hidden under basic shapes to allow people to traverse the town in style. What can I say? I'm a lady of leisure. While trying to plan out what I was going to do for this build, I did have some ideas. I mainly came up with the idea of maybe doing a Greek village with a seaside kind of vibe. Then it was going to be either the zombie apocalypse, which I'm glad I didn't take. You'll know if you've seen the other videos. Though I did end up going with more of an Arabian town vibe, mainly because when I looked at this, it just reminded me so much of this art style of the animated Aladdin movie. And I was like, oh, I love that. It's my childhood, you know, I grew up on that. So that's what I went with. I did my research, I looked at the designs, the way they did the market stalls, all the colours, and I couldn't shake the idea off of adding a camel that you could sit on. We've been so inspired by the Aladdin movie, and the first scene of that movie being the guy riding the camel through the desert and singing Arabian Nights, which, by the way, I did sing the entire time doing this. Did I know the whole song? No. Did I remember Arabian Nights? Yes. Yes, I may have drove myself and any neighbours who were sad enough to hear me singing this during the morning. But yeah, I think it's worth it. It definitely helped me get in the mindset of what I was going to do and the vibe I was going for. And to be fair, it's a really, really good song. If you haven't listened to it, you should go do that because I can't show it here. Disney lawyers, you know, they're always watching. Always. But anyway, the camel's about done. This camel's textures, by the way, will change probably a numerous amount of times because I could just never decide on how realistic I wanted it. If I wanted it to be more cartoony, if I wanted it to be more detailed, but it ended up being too dark at times. Should it be more yellow? Should it be darker? Oh, and I also forgot, you can't move seats. So I had to redo this, and honestly it wasn't as much as a pain as I thought it would be. Anyway, I'm about done with the camel now. He's in position and he's ready to go. It was time I started looking at my build because, yeah, I was worried I was behind. I may or may not have forgotten to press start on my timer. So I was like, oh boy, I am in trouble. Luckily we were all in a call, so if, you know, it came to it, I would just have to listen out and accept, you know, what's not finished isn't finished. If everyone's like, oh, it's over, it's time to check out the builds, I'm like, oh boy. Anyway, this is where I started doing the windows. I remember the windows always being open, there wasn't really any frame to them, and I thought it would look really, really cool with the, you know, intricate design, the round top, and then the slim ways. I thought it really fit into the build, and honestly, I wasn't sure if any other windows would really fit it, but it turned out great. I did end up messing with the texture. I have a tendency to go to the new brick one, and I use it a little too much, but who doesn't? It was also at this point I realised I didn't make that window to, you know, be copied, and I was like, pretty annoyed. Anyway, here I decided, you know, the best thing I can do is make some custom canopies, because, you know, it's really hot. Merchants don't want to be sitting in the sun all the time, and I wanted to put these around, kind of to give them market feel. Made sure to give them some kind of dull colours, but still enough to, you know, give it a pop against the yellow sand. I also included some more stalls on the front because why not? I did enjoy this, and honestly going through the reference, it was, yeah, really interesting. I've never done this style before, it was kind of new to me. I was a little nervous, especially because I had Vnoot behind me, and in some places I did get a glimpse of what she was doing, and yeah, that put the fear of God in me. Like, this woman, she can make stuff, okay? She is skilled, and she is a terror to be in a contest against. Not in a bad way, she's really lovely actually. I love popping in on her streams, which, you know, you should definitely go check it out. It's pretty fun. Anyway, here I am adding some structure beams to the walls. I really like doing this trick because it gives some volume to the builds. Instead of having a brick pattern on your houses and that, I definitely recommend adding some random bricks sticking out here and there. Just so, you know, if you've ever got like a blank wall and you're like, I don't really want to cover this in ivy, I don't have any windows there. I could put trees there, but why would I? Add bricks. It just gives it the illusion of, you know, there's more coming to this house. It's just pulling you in. Like, 100% try it, see how it is. The roofs were a pain because I was like, these are all really, really flat. And I didn't know what I was going to do with those, but later I did come up with an idea that I would add a basic shapes and then do the round top just to give them, you know, this kind of dome feel, which I honestly loved, and everyone seemed to love it as well. In there, I wasn't sure what to do, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to do some more plants. This is kind of more of an oasis, people have settled around here, and it's probably due to the excess of water. So, the plants liked it, and they moved in too. It also gave the area another pop of colour, besides the yellows and the oranges. The pop of green just kind of made it feel more lived in, more lively and active, and it was amazing. When I was making the stalls, I was going to put those into the building, but the buildings felt so small I was worried I wouldn't be able to do it, so I decided to make my own custom stalls. Yes, I know we have our own stalls that have been added, and yes, I actually did forget about those. The only one I could have used though would have been the tiki one, and that gets used like all the time. I know there's the other one, but I'm not a fan of that. I don't know if anyone else, you know, has the same view as me, but why are they huge? They're like bigger than the beds. Like, where am I going to put this in my builds? Oh, this was another trick as well I really liked. Adding the blankets to give the like overlapped kind of fabric feel to it. I don't know, it felt nice. It gave it some more detail. I also added some colours. I would gradiate it from lighter to darker, which, you know, it's like the illusion. It's the colour fairy. It's the illusion to it, and honestly, it just brought it out more. It just made it feel more alive, more depth to it. Ah yes, this is where I started changing my camel. I was like, oh, he looks too flat, too cartoony. I want to try and be more realistic. And I kind of like that texture for fur because, you know, when you look at animals, it's not always the same shade and there's different light variants of reflecting light on the, like, hairs and that. I'm sorry, I'm blabbering. I'm so nervous right now. And while I'm editing, it's been really warm, so I'm slowly getting flustered. Hopefully my editor's prepared to deal with all this yapping. No offense, Toast, but it's all on you now. This video's been held together by you and you alone. And my random yapping. But yeah, here I am decorating the stalls. I was starting to add more plants around, you know, looking around, making sure I was keeping up with everyone. Especially not with blah 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 blah. Sorry, tongue twister. Like I said, I'm nervous. But yeah, we're at that time of there, I was getting kind of panicky. I was like, oh my god. Once if we finish, how long have I been here? I don't know. Luckily it wasn't too bad, and you know, I started to get the ideas together for the town. After the camel and the stalls, I was like, what else could I put, especially in that corner? It was just so tight and small, I panicked, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? But it worked out. Though, I did have a little idea. Why not add more custom items? I checked my balance, I was already doing really well, I was not even close to my budget. So, I'm gonna make a snake. A sneaky snake. The sneakiest snake you've ever seen. Which isn't too hard. I do enjoy making, like, wavy structures. I don't know if anyone else has seen my other video, which you should definitely do, where I made the Cthulhus and the tentacles that were coming out of the portals. Honestly, I'm so proud of that. I did so well. Not to brag. Though, if there's anything I could change about this snake, it's probably his head. I'm not gonna lie, he looks a little derpy. I don't know how to say it nicely. But I love him either way. But here you can see me doing the colour gradient again. That's just to give some depth, kind of add some shadowing where, you know, I couldn't do with the lights. I put him in his little pot and he was ready to go. Oh, he was so cute. I did end up removing that tongue and I kind of wish I tried doing that again, but I mean, look at him.
I'm a snake. I'm a sweater little sneaky snake. I'm a snake.
Anyway, back to the build. I realised I'm kind of lacking. I haven't done much with my buildings and I need to really pull it all together, honestly. So at this point, you know, I'm starting to add the details. I'm adding more bricks around just to give it that, you know, 3D texture to it. Bit of diversity as well to break it up from just having the plain... I'm not even sure what the texture's called that I've used for the walls. I think it's like dirty walls. Either way, I added that. I added a few more little spots as well for people to sell stuff. Because I remember seeing this in one of the reference sheets where they had a blanket and they would just have stuff on the side. Like that, what they were selling. I was like, oh perfect, I could put that in there. Because honestly, there's just some areas that are so small, I don't know what to put in them. And I'm pretty sure I just end up filling them with like crates and that. My go-to empty space could do with crate. And honestly it worked. I also like to include more greenery because, you know, it's around the water. This is meant to be kind of like an oasis. You know, a break from the desert with the colours. This is where life has been set up to thrive in that. I did try using the doors as well to try and create windows because I like the shape of them. They also have the really nice border, which honestly saves me quite a bit of work. I also remember the one scene from Aladdin where he's escaping the guards and he ends up falling and he's going through all these clothes and he's falling through them and getting dressed. And oh god no, this is when I saw Vnoot's 8080 walker and I was like, oh no. And that's when I started to panic. I was like, alright, lock in, gotta cook. I mean, look at that. What was that? That's the sound of me losing. So this is it. I click in. This is where I started in all those crates for empty space. Because, you know, the saving grace. Wow, I did not mean to rap. I guess I'm just built different, you know? Oh well. Anyway, started to fill up all the marketplaces. I wanted to try and make it feel more full. And I was like, it still feels kind of empty. There's nothing really happening besides the marketplace. So once I finished up with this, I do believe I started working on adding, you know, an actual store built into the building. And come on me, lock in, no, why are we doing this? Then again, I did forget this. I always forget to do ceilings. Like I'll forget, I'll walk in and then boom, it's just the grey plain texture. I'm like, yep, that's great, that's great. Do I have a family of like 4 role-playing with me right now? Yep. Am I gonna kick them out of this house just to fix the ceiling? 100%. But yeah, I was just cleaning it up, making sure there was no mistakes. Oh, this is when I added the circular roofs as well. I was like, oh, I don't really want to put money into roofing because it's really expensive. Not like using basic shapes helps. But it worked out pretty well in my favour. Oh, this is also when I decided I wanted to try something a little risky. I thought, oh, maybe I can make a flying carpet. Because we have the fireflies and I love adding that, especially into any like magical build. Mainly the Terror Village from Panda's 𝙈𝙐𝙎𝙄𝘾 Chronicles. I don't know why I forgot that. Especially with when I kind of odd considering I do voice one of the characters in there and I've made some of the plots for it, so I should know the name. But yeah, I'm trying to find a good carpet like texture. We don't really have that many carpets and I wish they would add more. Maybe like especially with patterns and that, because the ones where they have the white texture on it and it's like no matter what colour you change it, it's always going to have that white and grey in it. Yeah, no, I don't want that, Bloxburg. Please, just give us some new carpet textures. Something for curtains, something for blankets. Like, I'm out here using like grass textures most of the time, just because it's pretty, it seems nicer. Which it shouldn't. Anyway, back over here, I'm working on the fish market. I realised this space was honestly the biggest bit, and I'm like, I could probably do something with that. So I went out, I gave it a try, started making the counter, wanted to feel like it's built into the building. Oh, this is where I start making a fish, and I don't know why I keep doing this. I always know it's easier to build the fish where it's standing up straight like that, instead of on its side, because if it's on its side, I always make everything really flat, and I'm like, ooh, what's happened? But yeah, no, I realised I fixed it, I restarted, started putting my little fish together. But I say, once you get one done, you get all of them done. I'm a little fish in the deep blue sea. Won't somebody save me? Now this fish is cooked. Quite literally, he will be cooked. There is no escape for him. Oh yeah, I love the gravel, especially for like scales and that. I use that on the snake as well. Like, it's so perfect if you're doing like fish life and that, or something scaly. Add a few more barrels because when in doubt, add some kind of storage. I also found this a little funny, I don't know, it seems cute to me, having the little fish heads sticking like that. Change them up, you know, not every fish is the same. That's me checking if I've gone over my balance, because I was like, wow, I've done a lot of custom items. Really don't want to be disqualified this time, so let's check that. Start adding a few things, a little like, not even, like open fire really. I like doing that, I like where it's like the fire and then I add like something above it. Okay, checking all the final details, adding a little bit more texture here and there. I really do like the new like castle fences they added. It's so nice, especially with builds like this. Adds that bit of extra detail, gives some lighting in there. I wasn't really sure what to do with lighting because we don't really have any. See, it would be weird to have the medieval torches there, so I couldn't use those. Do I really want to place a load of candles everywhere? No, not really. So I decided to go with a good old light fence, and I just hid that, had it look like it's all strung up on the sides. And it came out really nice, actually. Oh, I also tried to make the place feel bigger by adding doors. Is there anything behind those doors? No, it's vacant. Nothing at all. This is a very hollow town. But, you know, it fills up the space, it feels lived in, adding the more details. It was really fun, honestly, doing this. I was so nervous. I was like, I hope no one does the same design. I think we were all nervous, actually. Like, oh, are they going to do the same thing? Can I do it better? But no, everyone had such creative ideas. It came out really well. After all this, I did realise I did forget one really important thing that I wanted to create. So with 10 minutes left, I really panicked and, well, this is the best I could make. I hope you guys will really enjoy it because I had to lock in. And thank you to my body actors, we put together a little scene just to get a good feel of what this build is, which I will now continue to play. I hope you really enjoy this. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe, and check out Panda's main video to leave a vote.